Uttamascha Duvashobhao Anyonyam Prema Vivalao Angat Sangat Utpulatao Asraudham Muhuruhatu Uttama Ha Cha also Uttama Durvaha Cha Durva also Ubhao both Anyonyam one another Prema Vivalao being overwhelmed with affection Anga Sangat by embracing Utpulakao your hair stood up Asra of tears Ogam torrents Muhu Hu again and again Uhatu Hu they exchanged. Translation: the two brothers Uttama and Durva Maharaj also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection, and when they embraced one another, the hair on their bodies stood up. Please repeat. The two brothers, Uttama and Durva Maharaj, also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection, and when they embraced one another, the hair on their bodies stood up. Go to the next verse. Suniti, the real mother of Guru Maharaj, embraced the tender body of her son, who was dearer to her than her own life, and thus forgot all material grief, for she was very pleased. My dear Vidura, Suniti was the mother of a great hero. Her tears, together with the milk flowing from her breast, wet the whole body of Guru Maharaj. This was a great auspicious sign. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Suniti were all auspicious. His auspiciousness of the Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that the very near future Guru Maharaj would be installed on the throne of his father. The history of Guru Maharaj leaving home was that his father refused to give him a place on his lap, and Guru Maharaj determined that unless he got the throne of his father, he would not come back. Now this Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that he would occupy the throne of Maharaj Uttanappa. It's also significant in this verse that Suniti, the mother of Guru Maharaj, is described as a Veera Su, a mother who produced a great hero. There are many heroes in the world, but there is no comparison to Guru Maharaj, who was not only a hero emperor of this planet, but also a great devotee. A devotee is also a great hero because he counters the influence of Maya. And Lord Chaitanya inquired from Ramananda Rai about the most famous man in this world. He later replied that anyone who is known as a great devotee of the Lord is to be accepted as the most famous. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnanam Jnana Shalakaya Chikshadan Militamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sadvitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadama Dadati Swaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajim Shadvitam Shavadutam Parajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakanutam Shya He Krishna Runa Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikatanda Radhajanta Namaste Saptakanchana Varangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hare Kriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Bhavani Vacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavani Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here we are continuing reading the pastimes of Guru Maharaj. Now his mother is embracing him finally. Now there is a difference that his mother, when she embraced him, milk flowed from her breast and tears from her eyes bathed his body. So this is very auspicious sign. Normally mother's milk does not flow when the child has grown up. But in this case it automatically flows. That was also the case when Krishna was embraced by Mother Yasoda. This symptom showing an auspicious sign. So she is performing the Abhishek ceremony for the little boy, indicating that he will soon become the emperor of the world. To become emperor of the world is not some joke. It requires blessing. It requires blessing because because to be a great personality, you need the blessings of the Lord. So here in this case, you can see how the Lord was sanctioning Guru Maharaj, since he was a very exalted devotee. So when you become a devotee, then you become very auspicious. All the divine symptoms manifest in you. I'm sure you know this has been spoken many times. Says here in this verse, Yasheshti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvesh subguna tatra samaste suraha harava bhakta sikuto mahatguna manoratina dhavato. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga on the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculation, he must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? So the positive thing is when you become a devotee, you develop all the saintly qualities. But if you are not devotee, then you don't have any saintly qualities. See, this is a difference because many people are very much driven by mental speculation. They think that the goal of life is to make money, maintain the family, and yes, this is the sum and substance. But that is not the fact, because if you do that, then actually you do not develop all the good qualities. You follow this point. Trying to simply run after money is not the perfection of life. Right? As we have many times explained, wealth is a perpetual source of distress. it is most difficult to acquire and is virtual death for the soul. Therefore, what satisfaction does one actually gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one enjoy any genuine happiness from those things that are gained or maintained by one's hard-earned money, such as home, children, relatives, domestic animals, since they are all temporary? See this point? We are thinking that this is the direction that we should take, but it is not a fact. You see, our whole consciousness is, dovetailed into maintaining family. The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counter the reaction of all his miseries. And if he can successfully counteract such misery, he thinks he is happy. This is family life. I told you. Happiness means to keep everybody happy at home. But did not understand that the real happiness is that when you go and please the Lord. That's very nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita. The real happiness is in the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This is explained what's real happiness. Bhoktaram yagyatapasham sarvaloka maheshwaram suhedam sarvabhutanam gyantva santim rakshati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerity, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material misery. So you can only become happy if you come to this direction of knowing that Krishna is all in all. If you try to adjust anything in the material world, it only promotes misery. Because material world is miserable. This place is full of birth, which is miserable. The child comes out laughing. Oh, now I am delivered. Did it do that? Huh? When the child comes out, the mother's, whatever. Immediately is, oh, thank God, shaking hands with everybody. He's screaming at the top of the voice, crying. Yeah? And everybody is happy, oh, the child has taken, screaming like anything. And then you got, of course, birth, old age. Nobody likes old age. Yes? Anybody like old age? Take this pill and take that pill and take so many pills every day, appointment with the doctor. Yeah? Old age. And then disease. Oh, my goodness. Big industry with disease. Because the body is subject to this thing. And of course, finally death. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Death is, nobody likes it. Huh? It is the worst. Death is at all not pleasing. What is that? Huh? You know where it is? 11, 10. Death is at all not pleasing. Eleven, 10, 20. See here. Death is not at all pleasing. And since everyone is exactly like a condemned man been led to the place of execution, what possible happiness can people derive from material objects or the gratification it provides? See that? That is at all not pleasing. Everyone is exactly a condemned man. Every one of us are in that category. Only no time, correct? Everyone are lining up to go to the gallows. But who goes first, who goes second, but they're all on the line. Yes? Yeah? So we all are thinking that for now, that is far away, I can enjoy. But that's a crazy idea. That's why, what is his name? Uddhava said that, what is that in that verse? 13. Uddhava is saying here, Sri Uddhava Vacha, Vidanti Matyahe Prayena Vishayan Padam Apadam Tatapi Bunjate Krishna Tatkatam Swa Karaja Vat. Uddhava said, my dear Krishna, generally human beings know that material life brings great future unhappiness. And still they try to enjoy material life. My dear Lord, how can one in knowledge act just like a dog, an ass or a goat? You understand this point? We are thinking we are very great personality. You understand? That's why the whole idea is that if anyone can spend time to become a devotee, he is considered the best. It is, of course, we have quoted this verse many times. You can see in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said in 7:19, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Janamanmam Prapadyate Vasudevaha Sarvamiti Samatma Sudurlabha. This here, after many births and death, he who is actual in knowledge surrenders unto me. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is such a great soul is very rare. So only a devotee is classified in this category. You understand? Others are not. Those people who try to enjoy material life, they compare to what? Goat and ants. But a person who takes devotional service, he is considered what? Mahatma, great personality, and Sudurlabha, his birth is rare. See the classification. One who becomes a devotee, he gets all the accolades from Krishna. One who tries to enjoy his material life, he is compared like animals. Is it not? Why animals? Animals have no brains. See? Again, Krishna says in another place, Krishna says, Yo mamevam samutto janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajate mam sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the know everything. He therefore engaged himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. And then he says again here, the next line, Iti guyatamam shastram idam yuktam maya naga etad bhutva buddhimam syat krita krityascha bharata. This most confidential part of Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. See this point? Anyone who knows this thing, that Krishna is the topmost personality, is classified as a wise person. As what? Wise. Wise means what? Wise means what? Old man. Vice president. Wise means what? Gambling, intoxication. What? You know what wise? Wise means what? Gambling. Gambling, intoxication, needy thing. Huh? What? Smart. Yeah. One who is intelligent. You follow? This wise here is intelligent, the other wise. Huh? So you see, whoever understands this will become wise and his endeavors will know perfection. In other words, if you go to Krishna, you are considered as an intelligent person, your activities will become perfect. But if you do not go to Krishna, your activities may be materially one very astounding. But it is explained here, material activities will always end in what? Material activities will end in what? Read the Sanskrit better. Anvichatta Vishuddhatma Dehinam Vishayatmanam Guneshu Tattva Dhyanena Sarvaramba Viparyayam. A purified soul should see that because the conditioned soul who are dedicated to sense gratification have falsely accepted the object of sense pleasure as true, all their endeavors are doomed to failure. Understand? That is material life. There is no success in material life. There is no such thing as you're going to be a successful materialist. There is no such thing. There's what? It's only going to end in what? Failure. Actually, there's another word, parabhava stava abhota jata. Anyone who does not take up this process, he will be, all his activities will meet in disaster. Right? On the other hand, even if you take up this program of Krishna consciousness, it's explained by Prahlad Maharaj. It's explained here, and I'm going to read the last point here. One who has dedicated life to the service of Krishna to these nine methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Do you understand this? In other words, anyone who takes up, what is the ninth process of devotional service? Eating, sleeping, mating, depending. What is the ninth process of devotional service? Eating is important, right? Yeah? Eating prasadam is devotional service. Taking what? Prasadam. Right? Shravanam is what? Shaving. Right? What is Shravanam? Devotional service. I know Shravanam is devotional service. What is Shravanam? Hearing, yes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedam. This is 9 process of devotional service. And anyone who engages in them is considered as be the most intelligent person. But here he never said that you become a big, what? Materialist. You consider as what? A learned person. Actually, there's one verse. I am going to find it out in 5. Give me a minute, In this verse, materialists are generally very attached to their present bodily comfort and to the bodily comfort they expect in the future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in thoughts of their wife, children, and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. This is important. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of having 11 to study the Shastras? It's simply a waste of time. You understand my point? Do you understand this? So after learning all these things, what? We are also in the same category. Then what is the use of all our Krishna consciousness? Are you following? What is the use of our Krishna consciousness? Are you following? So therefore, we should be very, there's one more verse, very important. What is the use of one's education, practice, austerity? There's another point here in Sanskrit. Kim vidyaya kim tapasham, kim tyagena sutrena va, kim viviktena maunena, sriti yashyamano tam. Another point here. What is the use of a big education or the practice of austerity and renunciation? And what the use of studying religious scriptures, of living in solitude and silence, if after all that one's mind is stolen by a word? You understand this point? So therefore, Krishna consciousness is the solution. You understand? There may be some difficulties, maybe some, problems here, there. But nevertheless, we should stick to this path. Because Krishna consciousness is meant for the intelligent person. It is explained here, I think I quoted this verse before, 11:29. What? (11:29). Clever is a clever. 22, yeah. See here, Krishna is saying, Esha buddhimantam buddhi manisha cha manishinam yat satyam anatte neha matyena noti mamritam. This process is the supreme intelligence of the intelligent and the cleverness of the most clever. For by following it, one can in this very life make use of the temporary and unreal to achieve me, the eternal reality. So that is actually the goal of life. This is actually the goal of life. In this human form of life, if we waste our time trying to acquire material wealth and assets and family and all that, we have missed the point. You see how this boy, 5 years old, he showed an example. He went to the forest, he got, succeeded in getting to, have a darshan of the Lord. So when he came back, anybody who contacted him, they also became very much his friend, you all became his, devotee. So this is actually the success of life, to become a devotee of Krishna. All these other things we are trying, it simply have no value. It is just going to bring us to another birth, another birth, another birth, another birth. Intelligent persons will quickly put a stop to this thing. And the stop can only happen if we take up the process of Krishna consciousness seriously. That is important thing. We try anything else, thinking that it's, I need some material security, I need to have this and that. Then what is the use of our Krishna consciousness? And we are not understood. Point. Alright, so any questions or comments at this point? Is there any questions?
Material people, they address devotees and try to say that they are living in a life of an animal. Whereas those who do material things, they are the great souls.
Yeah, this is true because someone can only see on their level. They cannot understand something beyond. You understand? What I perceive, I can only see and understand on my perception. So if I am thinking of making money and living a family life is very important, then I only can preach that. And for me, that is absolute truth. You follow? But if you want to learn the goal of life, it is advised that you go and associate with the self-realized soul. Not from some household. That's never given advice. Krishna never said, Tadviti parnipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadeshyanti jnaninas upadeshyanti graha medi. Did he say that? Huh? He said, there's a verse, what is that? Sotra vidini rajendra. What? 212. 2? Here in this verse, Shrotra vyadini rajendra nirnam shanti shahashraha apashyantam atmatattvam grahasu grahamedinam. This is the householder, those persons who are materially engrossed, been blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. So this is the life of this kind of people. And what happens if we associate with this kind of people? Those who are, what is that? 31. 330, 42, is it? One should not associate with a coarse fool and what? I think it's 330, 42 maybe. I mean, maybe wrong.
331,
3.
31 and 34.
See, this is explained here. One should not associate with a cause fool who is bereft of the knowledge of self-realization and is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of women. We should not go this direction. You warn, don't go and associate with materialistic person.
People are working in a company, dancing, they are unrestrictedly associating with their...
What's that?
Those people are working in a company, so they are very unrestrictedly associating with their colleagues and all. Those who are not the devotees. So, don't you think it is also different? That must be enhancement of...
Yes, if you go there and give association, that's different. But if you go there and take association, that's different. That's why if you are in such a situation, you are advised to have strong spiritual discipline. You understand? So if you have strong sadhana, chanting, and then you have to go to work, what to do? Some saving grace. Ideally it's best if you don't have, but you know what to do. So best is that you are in such a situation, you try to not take the association. Now how to do that? That you have to have strong spiritual discipline. As is explained here by Dhruva Maharaj's example. Dhruva Maharaj is a king, correct? A king is also a sense gratifier, is it not? Yes? But because he's king and a devotee, so he is giving his association to the system. But similarly, if you become strong in spiritual life, then even you go to hell or you go to heaven or you go anywhere, you will be able to sustain. But if you are not spiritually strong, then you become a victim. That is what actually, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jnana Priyasam Udapasyam Sthana Bil. Sthana? Sthita. You stay where you are and you chant Krishna's name. So if you don't practice this, especially if you don't keep association of devotees in the temple, this is why Prabhupada created this system, no? The temple, you come, associate, you practice together with the devotees, then you get an advancement. You know the morning program full on. Why? Because it's essential. If you're not having this strong, what we say, sadhana, then there's a good chance you will sleep away. A very good chance. Are you following? So that is where you have to, have some, introspection. And you find out where you're going, what you're doing, how your mind is taking you, where is your mind going. This is the yardstick. If your mind is racing to Maya, then you know you have a problem.
You will go find them, those people like because the inevitable association, but it's not humanity.
Yes, we cannot be glorifying the materialists for sure. That we cannot do. Materialists are, just now Uddhava said, no? What is that? Huh? So is a goat or a what? Ass or a dog? As he said, how can you enjoy material life? No better than misery. But the devotee who are, what we say, more advanced, then they should try to help. That is compassion. Otherwise, there is no meaning to practicing spiritual life. That's why it says that the three ashram, the brahmachari, the vanaprastha and the sannyasi, their duty is to help. Sukadeva Goswami, he got no business, but he goes to the householder, although on the pretext of getting some milk, but then he gives association preaching. You understand this point? So that compassion should be there. If that compassion is not there, then what is the meaning of your tapasya? They know the materialists are stuck. That's why it is advised by Narada Muni that the householders must again and again associate with devotees. You follow? So there must be some category of people who are in this brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyas, whatever. You understand? Because majority of the people will be grahasthas. And grahastha life is painful, very painful. So who had shelter, if you also reject them, then where they go? Huh? If you as a devotee reject them, then where they go?
No, first of all, if one rejects them, is he a devotee?
Cannot be. Then he is a third class devotee, only thinking of himself. Third class devotee is into the puja and only into himself.
But on the other hand, those who are very adamant not to listen, rather than to give the higher pedestal to the colleagues, rather than devotees, to go and blog, Facebook, one friend, they don't want to listen.
Facebook is big Maya. Facebook is big Maya. It should be blocked. You understand? Because it's just not making you become more productive. You are just going there and prajalpa. You follow. Of course, you are posting some excerpts of here and there, but actually there's a lot of distraction in mind.
So there are two verses mentioned, doomed to failure and one whose mind is stolen by woman. And again you are saying just a dog in the hands of a woman. How can one come out of this obsession of the woman?
Has to take association of the bodies very seriously.
Then
See, you can wake up a sleeping man.
Yeah.
But someone who's pretending to sleep, then you cannot wake him up. That's not possible.
Can you back him? If he's not waking up, can you back him? The pretender needs to be back. No, see, we are discussing serious.
Anyway, he's going to be back by Maya. You don't have to do that.
No, see, that's not. We just asked a question. If as a devotee we don't help, we are a third class devotee. Like Kama Veda Dāsa Danda, what do we do in this situation?
Actually, the most important thing is not to take anything in your hands. You understand? You wait for Krishna to work things out.
Is it okay?
If you can give him advice, fine. If he doesn't want to take, then pray to Krishna.
No, the obsession doesn't. The obsession is not open to any of the advice or the recommendations. Intelligence is covered by this Maya.
Then what to do? Then let Maya take over. Maya is also going to beat him up, for sure. So either you beat him or Maya beat him. I mean, you save him or Maya. Maya is not friend, You understand? You touch Maya, it's only trouble. So, just like this verse, of course, it is there in the 5th canto, you are very compassionate. I think it is 5, let me see, give you a minute, 15? No, but there's one. This is the... This is the compassion of the devotee. If one is serious about going back home, back to Godhead, he must consider the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the summum born and chief aim of life. If he is a father instructing the son, a spiritual master instructing the disciple, or a king instructing his citizen, he must instruct them as I have advised. Without being angry, he should continue giving instruction, even if his disciple, son, or citizen is sometimes unable to follow his order. Ignorant people who are engaged in pious and impious activities should be engaged in devotional service by all means. They should always avoid fruitive activity. If one puts into bondage of karmic activity his disciple, son, or citizen who is bereft of transcendental vision, how will one profit? It is like leading a blind man to a dark well and causing him to fall in. You understand? So we should try by all means compassion. You cannot know how much to try, you have to keep trying. How? You cannot say you draw a line, I've tried enough. No.
Sometimes they do not understand. Just like you told that once you time doing that. So how it is, how they have to be corrected, they do not know, because usually in the beginning stage, devotional service on sentimental basis, they never in compliance with the Vedic features. Like how it is important that they should understand this spiritual master, you do not choose it, Krishna according to your sincerity, and particularly Gopal is a very pure devotee. And one should,
Why don't you ask the person to come to me? I can talk to him privately. That will be the best. Who is this person who want to go to Vrindavan? This is special case, so we need to talk to the person privately. Explain the issues.
Is it, another question, is it okay for a brahmacharya or vanaprastha sannyas to preach privately to a woman?
No.
Or he who is becoming a devotee, full-time devotee, to preach privately to a woman?
No.
Is it within the behavior of the devotee?
No.
Other than one's wife?
No.
Now, on the other hand, women should talk with the brahmachari.
If you want to talk to him in open area, Prabhupada said okay. But privately, that's not allowed. Not for anybody.
Facebook preaching, is it considered private preaching or public?
If you have a private mess together, then it's bad.
Private message.
Private, that's bad.
Yeah, that's also called a private person.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's as good as like a brahmachari talking to a woman or a woman talking to a brahmachari.
Yes,
It's dangerous.
yes,
That's one of the all the three downfalls here.
yes. That's why it's very important that we take good association. Because association means association with people who are advanced.
So, do you recommend me to cut off all my such preaching in my Facebook? Or I get out of Facebook?
I would advise you not to go to Facebook. That's my advice. If you really want advice, then because this comes under the category of
No,
prajita.
right now advice is not working. I only want an instruction or an order to be executed.
That if you personally ask me, then I'll tell you. If you want to be out of the mess, then better don't go into Facebook because it is prajata. People are saying that no, I'm using it for preaching and this, but who is so advanced,
No.
They're susceptible to so many other information onto you that you are not so strong to filter.
But it will make them to have a spiritual, prima facie spiritual impression that may lead to come to the temple. Or, they understand it to some extent, some grain they take from
So what you can do is that quickly post something and close it.
Yes, that would be better.
You post something about coming to the temple and close it. You don't get
Privately?
not private.
Publicly something.
No, that private thing is not very.
The response is always private. Prabhu. What is posted in the public, that goes into private. The next level of the such preaching is private discussion, one-to-one chat.
That's not allowed. That means will create a disturbance. Anything private, you said in the West, you're not allowed to sit in the what? With the women.
How the devotees are, how you recommend that they are working and they are so much, intermingling without any restriction.
First, we should try to save ourselves before we try to save others. That's the main thing first. First, we should try to become spiritually, surrender to instruction of Prabhupada and follow. And then Krishna will lead you to somebody that you need to talk to or something. You try to just become the Robin Hood, then it's going to be a big trouble. It's dangerous. Because the devotee mood is that I'm fallen. You understand? That should be the number one, what we say, consciousness of the devotee. Tanada pi sunichena. Then as we keep meditating like that, then for preaching, Krishna will send somebody. Not that we go around thinking that I'm a big deliverer, that's going to be dangerous. So all these things are points, that subtle points, You understand? You have to be careful. Because the mind can tell us, oh, I'm very advanced, I need to preach and save the whole world and blah, 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 and then I'm failing in my own program. Then what does that mean? Because the mind is very, very expert, bewildering us. Because for so many lifetimes we have been bewildered. You understand this point? So we have to have good association, then we reveal our mind. Revealing mind means revealing everything That you know what I mean? I'm not just revealing what you want to say that pleases the other. That's not revealing mind. Revealing mind to see your difficulty and say, Prabhu, I have this difficulty. How do I overcome? That's association.
No, I'll rephrase.
No, even then, a grihastha cannot preach privately.
Polygamy is right, right?
Yeah. He cannot privately preach to some individual. No, there's no, I don't know where there's a verse that the grihasthas are given a blank check to preach to any woman and every woman. Where? They have also restriction. They only restrict to their wife. And if they want anyone for the matter want to talk to anybody, yeah, it should be in a public place. That's a different thing. Or if he's caught in a room with only, then he should leave the door open even he says. You understand? So they are all safeguards to help control our mind. Because the mind can any moment flick. So we have to be careful. This is a principle that we have to follow for our own, what we say, precaution. There's nothing against anybody. We're not against the women or men or whatever. But when you put them together, that's where the problem starts.
Does that mean that women should not be protected? Will be government throughout the
Yeah,
life?
but don't worry about protection. The police force are here.
No, not protection in that sense of protection. No, in that, I don't mean that criminal activism and molestation, but like Prabhupada said, Sadhu said, women should be protected.
Let them read Prabhupada books. They have plenty of time for this. Give them the book and read. They are busy. You don't have to go and meddle with that.
As a man, you have to worry about all the women who are unprotected and marry all of them.
I think you better go to the
Because
lunatic
polygamy
hospital.
is allowed, right? Polygamy is allowed, right?
Polygamy, although is allowed in the scriptures, but Prabhupada then gave a letter that it's not practiced in our society because of the many laws, stringent laws in all the government,
Not only that, we cannot take care.
Yeah, it's difficult. This polygamy stuff is all a mess nowadays. I mean, what one already is so much a mess.
Yeah.
And you want to have,
Well, if one makes him a dog, ass and a goat, he's doomed to failure. Then why go for second polygamy?
Listen, polygamy talk it's a waste of time. It's not practical and it won't be allowed also. No countries will allow it. Unless you go to India and stay in Nepal, a guy got 30 wives. Maybe you can join his camp.
What about the women sannyasi and women ISKCON is propagating women sannyasi and women
Gopal made it very clear that it's
There's no such word as brahmacharini and there's no such word as sannyasini. That means there's no such ashram. So anyone who propagates that is simply some bogus. You understand? We cannot try to invent something that's not possible. We have to follow scriptures.
everything in compliance with that.
Yes, follow Shastra and be safe. First try to save yourself rather than trying to,
This is following Shastra to find out loopholes to execute something.
That's dangerous. That's why
That's dangerous.
this is called Smarta Brahmins. The Smarta Brahmins are expert in this. They're always trying to find some loophole in the Shastra to enjoy the senses. That is not. That is not a commandment. Huh? There is.
Actually, Sahaja is regular.
Yeah.
In the name of devotional service,
There is. There's a verse. I can go to that. 11 Canto, he quoted this fellow. 11.5.1. 11. Huh? 11.5.5. Is it 11.5.5? Or 11.5.20? Oh, yeah, it's 11.5. On the other hand, Brahmanas, members of the royal lord and Vaishyas, even after being allowed to approach the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Hari by receiving the second birth of initiation, can become bewildered and adopt various materialistic philosophies. See that point? Huh? They can, concoct. What is that?
Sometimes my wife friend, they told her, why you are husband is working not to join full time in that job. They are thinking that materialistic, going to factory, going to
Yeah, because as I explained in the class today, He also asked the same question. I said, a person who is a materialist can only see in the level. You cannot see beyond. Because to understand about Krishna, you have to become a devotee of Krishna. Then you can understand. But if you are not devotee of Krishna, you only can see what is you think is the best. You follow? Atma manyate jagat. I can see what is good for me and I think that is good for everybody. That's all. You understand? So that's why the real compassionate person is the devotee. Because he can see what is the best for everybody. Yes?
Last question.
Last question?
Many people very sentimentally coming, like they very for like they were initially become Sai Baba, Amma Bhagwan, something like that. So they have evolved to Krishna consciousness. Now, so when the sentiment comes, when we teach that no God is Krishna, and so they get very hot, and they could not take it because. We cannot accept something which is not mentioned in the Shastra because we Shastra Guru are everything very good. So, how we could reconcile with this thing that no, this is not right, that we are not having personal growth with Baba, Mata, etc. We follow whatever we
No, we have personal drive with Baba. Not that we don't have. We have. Because they're cheating. So we draw a line. That's why Krishna consciousness is a blind method. To practice this, you need purification.
These kind of people, if they come in association of devotees,
There will be
because it's a sentiment. They're thinking that emotional service is based on sentiment, not in reference to dedication.
No, by association, by hearing, they will get purified. That's why it's important that they read proper books, they attend, classes, they associate with devotees. It's very important so that they learn the right method.
Sometimes they blaspheme the devotee, formulating textually, devotees are not your.
And what can you do, if you are in that blasphemy group, nobody can help you. Yes?
How dangerous is it, blaspheming a devotee or, hurting a devotee?
Association by hearing, they will get you. You create offenses, a big problem. They read proper books, they attend, classes. If you create problems, very important. If you create problems, then how to help? If you don't want to learn, then how to teach you? What can you do? You are in that lesson. Why is it playing like this? Association, right? What's that? Feel like.
The elephant offenses is hot.
Huh?
Like Maharaj and elephant. There is a say that the elephant, the Gantman offense, elephant offense, the Atima, that will uproot your devotional fields of devotional.
Yes, it's getting late. So, offense to devotee is very offensive because if you commit Vaishnava aparadh, then very dangerous. Krishna will tolerate any other offense, but offense to devotees he cannot tolerate. So we should not try to do that. Very important. Try to be humble. If you are humble, then everything is okay. But if you are not humble, then many problems come. Many problems. And that problem will make you leave Krishna consciousness, which is dangerous. You follow? So we should not do that. Because it's another subject altogether, and I think we have no time. We'll try to cover it some other time. Alright, we will stop
Are
then.
you still on live?
Yeah. I'm going off live now. Thank you very much.